Yeah, it's interesting, that whole, I hope that is starting to dissipate culturally.
So.
I really do. I think social media is perpetuating some of those things in a really big way. But I did dream of my wedding growing up. And that's not to say that I didn't dream of the bigness of my life, but I could have spent a lot more time dreaming of my life. And as much as grief does surface for me around not having children and not having a partner, I still wouldn't want the wrong partner.
That's a great point for people to hear.
I'm not interested in that. You have to make my life better. It can't just be, I'm in a relationship to be in a relationship.
Take a look at Tracee Ellis Ross, modern women. Take a good look at her, because that is your future. This woman is 52 years old and still talking about, I still wouldn't want the wrong partner. You're 52, Tracee. At this age, you're the wrong partner. You're not 18 anymore. You don't have the youth. You don't have the fertility. You don't have the beauty. You don't have the innocence that men find attractive in women for you to say, I still wouldn't want the wrong partner. You would have to make my life better. What life? You're 52. The only life you have left is the years you've got left. And I suggest you live it away from podcasts where people can't hear your feminist propaganda growth BS. What man in his right mind who wants to have a family is going to take you seriously and consider you for his future wife and mother of his children? Have you lost your mind? You're past the age of menopause, Tracee. For goodness sakes, high-risk pregnancy started when you were 35. You're 52 years old now. Have some humility and stop trying to give men and women advice on dating. You failed.
The other big thing I'm going to say, look, I'm 52. I don't know. So even though the grief does emerge and that comes and I hold that, I think of what I've done. And I woke up every morning trying to do my best. I didn't wake up one morning and be like, I'm going to mess this day up.
That's right.
So I must be where I'm supposed to be.
You see that grief that you're feeling, Tracee? That is what you need to be talking about. And not about your promiscuous lifestyle with all these young men that you're having sex with.
It's one of the reasons, we've talked about this, that often I date younger men.
Or all this modern relationship bullshit word salad advice that you, Michelle Obama, and that feminized men are giving. Do you know why? Because that grief that you're feeling, that's the reality. That's the reality that most modern women will face when they get to their 30s and realize there is no man or family waiting for them and feminism lied to them. Haven't you seen the stats? 45% of women between the ages of 25 and 44 will be single and childless by 2030. I think now they're predicting 53% of women will be single and childless by 2030. Tracee, what you've done is sleep around and live a selfish lifestyle where you are the center of attention. That was your best. And that is why you are where you are. Like you said, I must be where I'm supposed to be. And where are you, Tracee? You're alone, no husband, no family, no legacy, just full of grief and bullshit self-psychoanalysis to justify your selfish, egotistical, proud, and lustful choices. That's it.
And I don't know, sometimes I think of all of the things I've done, the courage that I've had to have and what I've had to learn how to navigate as a single person with no one to hide behind.
Yeah.
And it's built a really beautiful experience around me. And I have incredible friends.
You do.
What courage, Tracee? What courage? It doesn't take much courage to do bad things, to choose evil. However, it does take courage and sacrifice to do good, to choose what's right. No wonder all you have left is friends instead of a family that love you for raising them, educating them, and guiding them. But what do you expect from a feminist who believes in killing babies in the womb, sleeping around, and the matriarchy, which boils down to individualism and the idea that it's all about my happiness, do as thy will, basically?
Even with the systemic protection of Roe v. Wade, I still was coming up against the cultural norms of being a choiceful woman and owning my own body and my own choices and what it is that I'm looking for in a relationship and the ability to negotiate in a relationship what it is you want the relationship to be between the two of you, as opposed to what society says it should be.
Well,
Feminism told women to chase after higher education and a job during their most fertile years. So of course women are going to have less babies and life will become more expensive. Then feminism created a pill, legalized abortion, and told women to go out and sleep around, be promiscuous because you are sexually empowered. And now women are ending up single, marriages are declining, and abortion is rising. Doesn't it sound like that's what happened to Tracee Ellis Ross? So what's the solution? Well, the Bible says you will know them by their fruits. And it's true. When you look at Tracee's fruits, she's single for life and now she regrets it. I know we live in a society that hates moral accountability, but it's true. There are consequences to our actions. In the case of Tracee, it was all of those men and it was all of that I don't need a man feminist propaganda nonsense that led her to be 52 years old, living in grief in spite of all the money she has. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the reaction. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. All right, peace.